Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome to the Principal's Corner, where we read books that celebrate our cultures and our diversity. I have a new book for you today. It is called The Sandwich Swap, and it is by Her Majesty Queen Rania Al Abdullah. And I've read this one, and so has Mr. Uribe, and we loved it. It was very entertaining, but you learned something from it. So let's get going with this book. The Sandwich Swap. I usually like to read the twos, so I'll go ahead and do that. To Hassan, Iman, Salma, and Hashem, my little ambassadors of hope, and to all the world's children, swapping sandwiches is just the start. For my best friends, Janie, Carolyn, April, Hope, Lisa, Paula, Susie, Dawn, Jessica, Laura, and Lisa K. And that's from Kelly DiPuccio. Let's see who she is. Oh, she wrote this with Her Majesty Queen Rania Al Abdullah. And we have also one for Trisha Tusa. She's the illustrator. And where she says, for Judith, thank you. That was simple. All right, here we go. It all began with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Oh, nice beginning. And it ended with a hummus sandwich. Oh, this is getting interesting. Salma and Lily were best friends at school. They drew pictures together. They played on swings together. They jumped rope together. And they ate their lunches together. But just what they ate was a little different. Lily ate peanut butter and jelly sandwich every day for lunch, every single day. Salma ate a hummus and pita sandwich every day for lunch. And it looks like they both like their sandwiches. And although Lily never said it out loud, she thought Salma's sandwich looked weird and yucky. She felt terrible that her friend had to eat that icky chickpea paste every day. Ew, yuck. And although Salma never said it out loud, she thought Lily's sandwich looked strange and gross. She felt just awful that her friend had to eat that gooey peanut paste every day. Ew, gross. I don't know what they're talking about. I love peanut butter and I love hummus. They both taste delicious. Then one day, Lily just couldn't hold back those pesky thoughts any longer. She said, your sandwich looks kind of yucky, she blurted out. What did you say? Salma asked, thinking she must have misunderstood her friend. I said, your sandwich looks yucky. Salma frowned. She looked down at the thin, soft bread, and she thought of her beautiful, smiling mother as she carefully cut Salma's sandwich into two neat halves that morning. Her hurt feelings turned mad. Yeah? Well, your sandwich looks gross and it smells bad too, Salma snapped back. Lily looked surprised. She sniffed the thick, squishy bread, and she thought of her dad in his silly apron, whistling as he cut Lily's sandwich into two perfect triangles that morning. Lily scowled. It does not smell bad. Does too. Ew, yuck. Ew, gross. So I have a question for you. Can they both like their own sandwiches and not talk about each other's food? Just because they don't like the other person's food doesn't mean that they have to talk about it, right? That afternoon, the friends did not draw pictures together. Uh-oh. They did not swing together. And they did not jump rope together either. The next day, I'll take a look at the picture. One's over there and one's over here. The next day, Salma ate her lunch at one table and Lily ate her lunch at another. Meanwhile, the peanut butter versus hummus story had spread and everyone began choosing sides, each side had something not so nice to say to the other. Peanut butter breath, jelly heads, garlic breath, chickpea brains. Pretty soon, the rude insults had nothing at all to do with peanut butter or hummus. You're weird. You're stupid. You look funny. You dress dumb. And then it happened. Somebody yelled, food fight. Okay, let me pause right here. First, there should never ever be a waste of food like this. Look at this. Never, ever. And secondly, it sounds like they are not going the Reese way, which one, be kind. So all of those mean things that they were saying, that wouldn't be the Reese way. Peanut butter and hummus sandwiches and other lunch favorites began flying back and forth between both sides of the room. They stuck to the walls, they stuck to the ceiling, they stuck to the lunch lady. When the sandwiches were all gone, pudding cups and applesauce and carrot sticks took flight. Selma and Lily looked at one another from across the rowdy, splattered room. They both felt ashamed by what they saw, because all of this started with them, and they could have stopped it. They both felt really ashamed when the principal called them into her office after they had helped clean up the mess. The following day, Selma set her lunch down across from Lily. The two girls nibbled on their sandwiches in silence. Finally, Lily got up the courage to speak. Would you like to try a bite of my peanut butter and jelly? Selma grinned. Sure, why not? Would you like to try my hummus and pita? Lily laughed. I like that. On the count of three. Okay, on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Now I have to stop and say, we don't share lunches here at Reese simply because we don't know what each other are allergic to. So make sure you're not doing that. But for this story, let's see what happens after 3. Looks like they made up. Yummy. Hey, this is delicious, and this is heavenly. The girls giggled and hugged and traded sandwiches. No trading sandwiches. After lunch, Selma and Lily met with the principal again. This time they were there to suggest a very special event for the whole school. And that's how it all began, with the peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and ended with a hummus and pita sandwich. So what that's called is a kind of like a potluck or a celebration together. Sometimes you have that in class, but not right now. But eventually we'll get back there, hopefully next year, next school year. All right, let's take a look. This opens up even wider. Woo, look at that. And it's a multicultural event. It looks like they're bringing in foods from their different countries or their different cultures, and everyone is getting to try each other's food. So instead of judging each other, we learn about each other. I love this book simply because it shows that there is no need to judge someone before you even get to know them, and you can't judge their foods because you haven't tried it, things like that. You need to learn how to be together, and that's accepting each other and your different backgrounds, and your different cultures, and your different heritage. So Mrs. Uribe and I love this book. It is in the library. We have about 5 or 6 copies. Check it out. All right, guys, come on back to the Principal's Corner.